I told you. You're gonna take out the camera. Let's just go ahead and take that off and see if it spins. Out in the shop today, and I wanted to do a quick review on a product that I think you guys might be interested in. I've been on sort of a quest, I guess you could call it, to find tools that are made in the US. I like buying made in the US stuff if I can. Sometimes it's not practical, but also at a reasonable price. You're gonna pay quite a bit more no matter what. But the question is are there brands still out there that are sort of reasonable and not gonna completely break the bank? I do a lot of work on my own. I mean, I have laying around here, I have lawnmowers and I work on my own cars. And so I've always done that for years and years. And I like good tools. You know, I have Craftsman toolboxes back here. Again, not top end, but this one over here I've had since the 90s. It is made in the US, at least the top box is. Williams is a company that's been around since the late 1800s. It's one of the older US tool manufacturers. I don't know their full history. But in the early 90s, I believe 1992, they were purchased by Snap-on. And I'm gonna show you why I picked this and what I was looking for specifically, and some comparables in less brands and, you know, higher end brands and lower end brands. So just to kind of give you a good overview of it. Right, I love talking about tools. I always have. Let me show you my ratchets, okay? And I'm going to show you, here's the Williams. We're gonna be talking about that. That's the main point of the video. But I can show you that I have a variety of ratchets here. I have these. These are old Craftsman ratchets, the old pair head ones. Don't like these ratchets. This is what I replaced my stolen tools with. Always been completely miserable to use. They're really, really, really sloppy. They've always been sloppy. They're terrible. Look at that thing wiggling in there. About the same time I picked that up, I did replace this one I had back when I was worked on aircraft engines down at the airport. You probably didn't know I was a professional mechanic for several years right out of high school. This is probably the one that I use most when I'm working on cars. 82. This is the FL80A flex head ratchet. What an awesome ratchet. I used this the other day in a really tight spot. I'll roll in some footage. And I was at this weird angle where I had to just move it. And I mean, you barely have to even, I forget how many degrees you need to turn these to get them to engage, but really, really good. I just replaced the short one, the standard size, with an F80, okay? Now they got their USA branding back there, which is nice for them to do because they are made here. Okay, so Snap-on, always a good choice if you want to pay a lot of money. I don't mind doing it on just ratchets. I don't have a bunch of Snap-on stuff, but I will pay that price on ratchets because you can get into places that you probably shouldn't be otherwise. Okay, the point of this video is this tool right here. This is the Williams. The Williams, what's the number? SB52EHLA. You can buy a rebuild kit on these for about 10-15 bucks on Amazon. So you can repair them yourself, or they'll warranty them for life. So they are the same company as Snap-on, like I said before. And let me show you the reason I picked this one up. Because I kind of knew what I was getting into when I bought this, just by the reviews. And I am pleased. They're pretty precise, okay? It's not an 80 tooth like they have now, but it is very precise and very smooth. Now check this out. Especially for a 1/2 inch drive. This is very solid compared to those other ratchets that I have. Just rock solid. And it's a decent length, okay? Now, if you want length, you don't want to pay any money, you can obviously buy the Harbor Freight Snap-on knockoff. I don't know if they make this anymore. This is probably 10 bucks. That's an option too, but what I want to try to talk about is how do you get a US made, you know, pay for the US companies or whatever to keep them in business, US made, higher quality than some of the junkier stuff that you can find. This is probably one of the reasons Craftsman didn't really do well here, but Still American made, but not good quality. American made, super high quality, you know, very expensive. You're talking, you know, about $100 for each of those. Retail on this is about $50. You can find it for even a little cheaper. And you can find the standard size one in the Williams brand for about $30, I think, $30 or $40, depending on where you look. And it's not the super high price, but very premium Snap-on stuff. Would I recommend these? Of course, they're really, really good. You know, some people say you don't need it. I enjoy using them. I save a lot of money doing my own work on my own cars. So to me, it's, you know, even though I'm not professional, I do fairly professional in-depth work when it comes to maintenance and mechanics work. I know why they're doing it. They're saving some money. On the Snap-on ones, they come in and they have a little bit of a radius there. It's really comfortable. Okay, right here they don't. Super sharp. Okay, not good. Doesn't matter so much on the 1/2 inch, and I knew that. You know, with a 1/2 inch, you maybe grip it a little bit here, but ultimately you're not choked up on it, and you know, and going fast like you would be on something like this. So, you know, where you're trying to zip a fastener off real fast. But if I was buying it in the smaller size, I would be paying attention to that. You could probably grind this off and re-black oxide it. You can probably just sand it a little bit. But if I was Williams, take that edge off a little bit. I know it saves you a couple of bucks, I get that, and it changes your brand a little bit, the shape. But even if you just made a little radius there, it would make a huge difference. I know you're probably aware of that. Go ahead and do that. I'll give you a measurement on this, because one thing I couldn't really tell, there was several different dimensions on Amazon and on different sites. I had to look at several different sites to make sure it was the size that I wanted. In pictures, sometimes it looked like it was more like this length, this 3/8. It looked a little bit shorter. Surprisingly, it's a pretty decent sized ratchet. So overall length, let's see if they're correct here. I don't know what they even called it. Overall length is 15 even, okay? It's a 15-inch tool. This for, look how cool that old box is. I can put it in my junkyard box, right? So when I go to the junkyard, I'm usually taking off pretty big parts, ball joints and pieces that I need for a car or my truck, and I can stick it right in there, whereas this big monster breaker bar, I have to haul in separate, and I've always had to do that where I just kind of have to carry that in separate. Nice to have that in there. So that is pretty cool. So that is my review of the Williams, the very excellent Williams 1/2 inch drive ratchet, long handle variety, right? Really nice thing. Go out and pick one of these up. You're not gonna regret it. It's something you're gonna last a lifetime. I guarantee I'll have this in my collection until it gets stolen, or man, I don't think I can break it. Honestly, this thing feels rock solid. And if it does ever wear out, or the pawl wears out, or the springs, or the seals, you can always go spend $10 and repair it yourself. Really good quality stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys later.